Mr. Garvey said, "No right is safe when it is given to you by another people. No law, no bill, no policy, no right, no privilege is permanent or safe when it was given to you by another people." What am I saying? I'm saying that if they can reverse the abortion law in the face of a very powerful white feminist movement, if they can overturn Roe vs. Wade in the face of a very powerful white feminist movement, if they can do this to the feminists, if they can undermine the feminists, most voters are women. Most Americans are women. And yet and still, they threw out a federally guaranteed right to abortion because they said, according to Justice Clarence Coon Thomas, the framers of the Constitution did not intend for their words to be interpreted as meaning women have a right to terminate unborn life. Unborn human being. Remember, the Supreme Court's job is to interpret constitutional law. If they feel that the law is not protected by the Constitution, they can throw it out. If they can prove that the framers of the Constitution did not intend for their words to be interpreted as meaning women have a right to terminate unborn life, they can overturn it. So if they can do this to the feminists, if they can do this in the face of the powerful white feminist movement, they can revisit civil rights. They can revisit voting rights. They can revisit school desegregation. They can revisit whatever is left of affirmative action. I hope American Africans are paying attention. I told you, Negroes, this would happen. This is one of the prophecies of 𝚂𝚗𝙱𝚁𝙸𝙱𝙴. I told you this would happen. The numbers of Europeans are dwindling. 25 of 50 states have a zero white population growth rate. They are in the negative. More are dying than being born. They had to do this to save their race. They had to do this to save their race. And they're using Uncle Tom Clarence to do it. He's one of the more senior members of the Supreme Court, having been there since the 90s, and they're going to ride his self-hating coattails until the end. Oh yes, they're not going to stop with this. They're going to hit up the rainbow movement next. They're going to hit up the rainbow brigade. The rainbows, you are next. You know why? You know why? Because just like abortion, your way of life threatens the survival of the American Caucasian. Oh yes, you're next. They're coming for the rainbows. They just took down the feminists, they coming for the rainbows. And when they done dealing with the feminists and the rainbows and the multiculturalists, then they gonna come for black folks, the only integrationists in America. Then they're gonna come for us. And who's standing between you and the Supreme Court? The Congressional Black Caucus. Who's standing between you and the Supreme Court? The Congressional Black Caucus. Oh, they're gonna get civil rights. They're gonna get voting rights. They're gonna get integration. They're gonna get school desegregation. They're gonna take us back to Jim Crow. I told you The Obama presidency was the initiation of extermination. The Obama presidency was the initiation of extermination. We have no major black movements, no major organizations, no major community-based groups that are not funded by white folks. Everybody's funded by white folks. Everybody. Everybody's funded by white folks. The black church funded by white folks. Your politician funded by white folks. Your community development corporations who haven't developed anything funded by white folks. Oh, they coming. Oh, they coming. They want to make America white again. Donald Trump told you we're going to make America white again. Donald Trump told you. How do we survive? You organize or you die. How do we survive? You organize or you die. How do we survive? You organize or you die. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, greatest black leader of the 20th century, greatest human organizer of all time. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, greatest black leader of the 20th century, greatest black organizer of all time. He told you, the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. The greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. Oh, y'all listening now. The feminists don't know what to do. The feminists don't know what to do. The feminists are losing their mind. They can't believe it. The feminists can't believe it with all the money they got and all the votes they got and all the women they got. The feminists are losing their damn minds. With one stroke of a pen, they overturned your federal right to abortion. It doesn't make abortion illegal, brothers and sisters. It doesn't make abortion illegal, brothers and sisters. It doesn't make abortion illegal. What it says is every state has the right to determine if abortion is legal, and if so, under what conditions. So, there are approximately 30 states. There are approximately 30 states. There are approximately 30 states who already have or will pass anti-abortion laws. There are 30 states that have or will pass anti-abortion laws. That will leave approximately 20 states. So if you want an abortion, you're going to have to go somewhere else. Don't get me wrong, as African people, we are pro-lifers. Don't get me wrong, as African people, we are pro-lifers. But there are conditions. There are conditions such as rape and other conditions that even pro-lifers may have to tip their hat and say, I can't oppose this on the grounds of how the pregnancy took place. I can't oppose this on the grounds of how pregnancy took place. So you're going to have to go out of state to get an abortion if you don't live in states that will have an anti-abortion law. And you better hope that the states that allow abortion don't pass a law preventing out-of-towners from getting an abortion. See, that's how they're going to get black folks. That's how they're going to get black folks. That's how they're going to get black folks. They're going to say, time out. If you don't live in this state, you cannot have an abortion in this state. They're going to say, time out. If you don't live in this state, you cannot have an abortion in this state. Now, some of you say, how does this hurt black folks? How does this hurt black folks? Because if we pro-lifers, and so many of us are being murdered anyway, and poor health and mass incarceration, isn't this a good thing? They don't care about black children. They don't care about black babies. They don't care about black pregnant mothers. First of all, let me tell you what's going to happen. Number one, there will be more black children murdered during the birthing process. You heard it from me. The numbers of black children who will be pronounced dead upon arrival are about to skyrocket. The number of black babies that are going to be pronounced dead upon arrival. Black women already have the highest infant mortality rate in the Western world. Black women already have the highest infant mortality rate in the Western world. Black women already have the highest infant mortality rate in the Western world. It's about to quadruple. Black women, don't have your baby in the hospital. Go to the birthing center. Black women, don't have your baby in the hospital. Go to the birthing center. It's an all-out war on the African woman's body. They know that this law is going to increase numbers for everybody. They know that this law is going to increase numbers for everybody. And because of that, they have to take measures to keep the black birth rate down. They're going to push more rainbow culture in the black public schools. They're going to push more rainbow culture in the black charter schools. They're going to push more rainbow culture through the black church, through the television, propaganda, media, and black community. Oh yes. Y'all have not overstood. You have not understood. You have not understood. Oh yes. More police brutality. Oh yes. More prison experiments on black inmates. Oh yes. Oh yes. You think they just gonna let your numbers go back up because they overturned Roe vs Wade? You really think they just gonna let the black population skyrocket? Are you kidding? Are you that uneducated? Are you that politically retarded? Are you that goofy that you really think they not already prepared for what they're going to do to keep your numbers in check? This is an extermination. Black women, I told y'all, I've been preaching for years, we need our own hospitals. I've been preaching for years, we need our own hospitals. But our black doctors are so content working in the white hospitals. Our black doctors are so content working in the white hospitals. Our bougie black doctors are so content. Brothers and sisters, I told y'all it was coming. The Supreme Court just overturned 3 very critical precedents in recent American history. Number 1, federal right to abortion. It's over. Number 2, they just weakened the state's right to force you to get a gun permit in order to carry a firearm. They just decided the other day, right before Roe vs Wade, states cannot curtail your Second Amendment rights. States cannot curtail. So guess what, y'all? Needing a gun permit is about to be a thing of the past. We are going back to the Wild Wild West. Strap up, vest up, grip up. We are going back to the Wild Wild West. Strap up, grip up, vest up. We're going back to the Wild Wild West, Africans. Get ready. Get ready. Strap up, grip up, vest up. Overthrow Roe vs Wade. They just basically overturned gun control. States can't really force you to have a permit no more. And the third thing they did, the third precedent that the Supreme Court just overturned, that y'all not even listening to because you so worried about basketball, football, reality shows, NBA drafts. Stop behaving like overgrown children. Stop behaving like overgrown children. stop behaving like overgrown children. The third precedent that they overturn, if you have friends and family behind bars, listen up. If you have friends and family behind bars, please listen up. The Supreme Court said it is no longer allowable for people wrongfully convicted in prison, seeking a new trial at the federal level. People who are wrongly convicted in prison seeking a new trial at the federal level cannot introduce new evidence. I don't think you heard what I just said. I'm going to say it again. As far as I'm concerned, this is worse than Roe Vs Wade. As far as I'm concerned, this is worse than Roe Vs Wade. Roe Vs Wade is not the issue in Black America. Roe Vs Wade is not the main issue in Black America. We want all of our babies born. Roe Vs Wade is not the issue for Black America. The issue for Black America was the decision the Supreme Court gave us 2 weeks ago or a week ago. If you go to jail because your lawyer made a mistake, if you go to jail because your lawyer didn't present the proper evidence, if you go to jail because your public pretender sold you out without your knowledge, if you go to jail because you didn't fully know your rights, if you go to jail because significant pieces of evidence was left out, guess what? You appeal your case to the federal level, you cannot introduce evidence that has not already been introduced at the previous level. Listen to this. You cannot introduce new evidence at the federal level if it was not already introduced locally. Brothers and sisters, you think the prisons are full now? You think you worrying about the abortion clinic, you better worry about the federal penitentiary. You better worry about the state penitentiary. You better worry about the county jail. You think the abortion clinic? The abortion clinic ain't the issue. It's the prison, the penal institution, the jail. The Supreme Court saying you can't introduce new evidence at the federal level to try to prove you was wrongfully convicted. They want you to stay in jail forever. They want Africans to stay in jail forever. What is your Congressional Black Caucus doing? What is your Congressional Black Caucus doing? The Supreme Court said the Second Amendment to the Constitution does not allow states to curtail your right to carry arms in public. The Supreme Court said that the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment does not give states the right to curtail your ability to carry weapons